Hi everyone, thank you for coming to my presentation. Let me share my presentation 1 second. Screen. There. Okay. Can you see my presentation?
Yes, I can see it.
Thank you. All right, so my name is Darkis. I'm going to talk about emotional intelligence and mental health. So what if I told you that I have a friend from the Caribbean who immigrated to this country and his mom was an alcoholic, his dad was a rapist, and he moved to this country when he was a teenager. So what would that tell you about emotional intelligence and mental health and how everything that happened to him affected his psychological well-being? So we're going to talk about emotional intelligence, how it affects mental health, habits that affect mental health, and then the references. So emotional intelligence is the ability to manage both your emotions and understand the emotions of
Mama!
people around you. Please mute yourself. Thank you. Um, intelligence, according to a study, can be taught, developed, and enhanced as a group of competencies that directly affect the efficiency of a leader. We provide evidence that emotional intelligence training and emotional intelligence interventions help improve and moderate the individual's capacity to adapt to and manage stress and traumatic experiences. The results for another study revealed that emotional intelligence is the key for effective leadership and that the most common used skills or competences are self-awareness, self-management, and empathy. So emotional intelligence is how you choose to react to an event. So say I'm doing this presentation and somebody's trying to interrupt or challenge my um, definitions or my studies. I can either choose to react in a negative way, or I can choose to control the situation in a way that would continue the presentation and address the issues at hand. So, how does emotional intelligence relate to mental health? So, emotional intelligence is like a state of control and self-awareness versus mental health. It refers to the emotional and psychological and social being. It is a state of health. Data from a study suggests that a population could benefit from targeted emotional support specific to their career. So this was a study that talks about people in the military and nurses and how they get trained to be emotionally intelligent individuals for their career so that they don't suffer from PTSD as much as the regular population. Another study showed that the results of mental health is that it showed that significant positive relationships between emotional intelligence, flourishing, belongingness, hope, and harmony. So again, it's a state of well-being, it's a state of health. So what habits affect mental health? Um, there's some habits that affect mental health, like positive will be like yoga, exercise. There was another study that I didn't cite on this presentation, but it talks about the Mediterranean diet and how it promotes mental health in individuals. Diarying, writing a diary every day, journaling. Some people do drawing, artistic skills that also helps with mental health. There was a study that revealed positive relationship between mindfulness and emotional intelligence, particularly the capacity to regulate emotions. There was another study that talks about the negative effects of some things on mental health. For example, uh, as you may have heard, it's now known that teenagers are suffering from suicide and depression at a 50% higher risk, and it's all related to social media. So, because of the negative impact of social media, meaning negative comments or negative feedback that the teenagers get on social media, they are more likely to develop anxiety and depression and commit suicide. Other components of emotional intelligence include awareness, stress management, and adaptability. So those are my references. So my friend is real. Uh, it's a he does exist. And he chose to not become a victim of his past. So What he did was he sees a psychologist, he takes medication, he sees a counselor, and he does exercise and diet and uh, takes care of himself. He's married. He has a master. He's successful, um, and he chose to overcome. I think anybody else, you might think that he may end up in like drugs or alcoholism or in jail, but he did choose to overcome. And so that is my presentation on emotional health, emotional intelligence, and mental health. Thank you very much. Okay, bye. Tuesday. I had 6 people.
Good
Te
job.
te entendí el impacto de la inteligencia
Good job, Darkest
Thank you, thank
Maria.
you, thank you.
Even Liam is in the call.
Ok,
Eso.
Tuesday, ya son libres. Muchas gracias. Le voy a mandar dándoles el agradecimiento.
Bye, Liam.
Bye, Leah.
Bye.
Ay, Lía.